everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Marianne and welcome to your June readings. I'm almost finished. For those that are new, welcome, always returning, love you, appreciate you. And I'm doing the June readings and I usually do one a day. Sometimes I can do less, sometimes I'll do, like yesterday I did two. And the second one is still uploading, so that's still going on for me. How's your day been? Oh, and we have the beautiful, beautiful full moon in Sagittarius, strawberry full moon, super big. I've been seeing it the last couple nights. Last night it looked fully full, but it's legitimately full today. And I did a Sagittarius's reading yesterday, and it was off the charts, phenomenal. I came in this room saying, okay, take a seat now because this is real. This is really happening, and I could feel it reverberating in my body, and it was just phenomenal. So if you have any placements in Sagittarius, you might want to watch that. But today's reading is for the beautiful Earth sign and Cardinal sign, you know, doer, mover, likes to be busy, likes to initiate, the pioneer of a lot of things. Also a Saturn ruled sign. So very familiar with being very structured in a lot of ways, you know, grounded, practical as an earth sign, of course. And that is a beautiful sign of Capricorn. So the full moon goes into, it then starts to, you know, become, what is that considered? Because that's what my beautiful necklace is. I looked up my placement of the moon when I was born, and it's the waning gibbous moon. So that's around tonight when it goes into your sign, Capricorn. So we go from this incredibly, very, very powerful, optimistic Sagittarius, Jupiter-ruled moon that represents the ninth house, and it represents, you know, truth and conviction and adventure and foreign lands and travel and freedom and, did I say truth? Truth, absolutely. And fun, a lot of fun, excitement, spirited energy. And then it goes into the Capricorn moon, which can still have those feelings. They'll last for the rest of the month, absolutely. But the moon, of course, changes. It's a rather quick moving, you know, planet. It changes signs every 2.5, sometimes 3 days. So we'll have the moon in your sign, but it'll be more grounded. And all that energy I mentioned will be a part of it, but then you can just kind of plant it into a particular, I want to say mold, you know, or, you know, permanence of sorts. Your dreams, your desires, you know you want what you want and you're not going to let up. And that's definitely the Aries, Jupiter in Aries, Mars in Aries energy happening as well, all the while with this Sagittarian fiery energy. So it's on, and it should be actually very, very fun. We're still in Gemini season as well. Gemini is the communicator, the one who likes to be, you know, expressing themselves and getting the word out and communicating and networking and having fun and going to parties and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of people, I'm sure, that know a lot of Geminis, and, you know, they get along with everybody. They're mutable. They're exciting and fun as well. And so that could be happening in the mix. I feel like it is. And so, yeah, just taking it in, but just allowing yourself to also stay as balanced as possible. Temperance represents the card of the Tarot card that represents, you know, Sagittarius. So that's essential for all of us. I feel a bit of the energy lacking today, and it's not from anything I slept. I got up a couple times. I've been hydrating more, because that's always a very important thing to do too. But it's not that. It's the moon. It does tend to do that. So you want to make sure that you're being extra cautious and you're not overdoing it, and just going with the flow. That way, if you're feeling a little bit less energetic, just take it easy, relax. But for you, Capricorn, yeah, positive things. So as usual with my format, I will be picking your spiritually guided love connection reading for the month of June. I will pick 4 tarot divination cards that represent each week of the month. And yes, we're on the second, will be the second week tomorrow. Today's the 14th, it'll be the 15th. And I like to finish my recordings by then and hope they get uploaded. It's one thing to record, it's another to actually finish the uploads, but I just do what I can. That shadow period is very much a part of who we are and what's happening right now. It'll last through the 19th, which is this Sunday, Father's Day. And I find for myself, maybe you can relate to this, but those that certainly know and are aware of the retrogrades, they're a part of all of our lives. There are certain rules of thumb to kind of go by that are pretty tried and true. Technology is a little funky and it can get mixed up, transportation as well. Maybe buying transportation, which you don't really want to do. You want to hold off on these things, even though they're necessary and needed then. You just got to be strong and if possible, not purchase them. If you do, there's a chance you'll need to return them and get another one and so forth. There's a lot of variables there. Not always though. Do what you have to do. Live your life. Definitely. But I find that I notice a lot more of the things happening, though I was hit quite a bit during the entire retrograde with my scheduling at work, which I usually am, rescheduling and the canceling and it was a lot. I just went, okay. I took my deep breaths. And so you may be feeling that too. You may have, placements that are in Sagittarius, bringing you that power and that strength, which you already have anyway. You're more grounded about it, but it's very much a part of who you are. You're a successful, oriented, driven person, Capricorn. I put this over there, I don't know why. So I will pick first and foremost, I'll pick the spiritually guided love connection that's important for you during the month of June. It could be somebody you know, of course. It could be somebody coming in still. For the singles or people that just want to meet friends and connect more. This is the energy with Gemini I was explaining, and Sagittarius. Very social. Getting out there more. Boy, that sounds delightful, doesn't it? So I get to do that. I'm going away this weekend for 2 days. It's the first time since last year. Outside of, an hour drive, I've been prior, but it feels so good. So I hope you're doing that. I hope you're planning that. That's very indicative of this full moon for all of us with Sagittarius, pointing that arrow and just saying, yeah, that's where I'm going. Even if it's not right now, just plan it. Make it happen for yourself, please. So, and it could just be the energy that's being picked as far as this love connection, and they're all different forms, all different reasons for the connection. And you know what? It's more on the Gemini. It really is. It's a little bit on the Cancer, but I'm going more because most of the dice is on the Gemini. There you go. Gemini season. Very much a part of this full moon today, right in line with it. So and that happens to be Sagittarius's polar opposite is Gemini. So there's a strength in that. There's a strength in, once again, connection, commerce. Mercury rules Gemini, so Gemini's been going a little crazy too, because when you have the planet in retrograde and it is your ruling planet, it's really notable a lot of times. But you don't have to go crazy. You just go with it and say, okay, this will be over at such and such a time, and it's pretty darn accurate. I'm already noticing the movement because it actually stationed direct last Friday. So every day, it just keeps getting more and more clear. I think it was 2 weeks ago Friday, forgive me. Yeah, because it's usually about a 2+ week shadowy period. So yes, we're almost out of it, and I won't talk about it anymore. But I like the Gemini for you because as an earth sign, Capricorn, you are very, very, interested in success. You represent the goat. You're the, the sure-footed, high-reaching, figuratively and literally, you can climb the mountain, you can get to the other side, and nothing's going to stop you, okay? You have a goal, you are determined, you're not fixed. In fact, you're the cardinal, but you will usually instigate things. You run your own businesses, you're very hardworking, you're happy to do it yourself. A lot of times you take on way too much because you think you do it best, and you probably do. So that's you. And Gemini is, like I said, this very fun kind of, duality type of personality. They can be up, they can be down, they can be all over the place. They're very intelligent. They like to be teachers. They like to teach and, share information whenever possible, whether it be written or spoken, maybe YouTube channels. There's new inspirations coming. There's new ideas, and it's like it's time to believe in ourselves and our abilities to acquire and to manifest and to become what it is we know we can do. And forget about what anyone else says. Forget about the what ifs and just go for it. That's that energy of Aries. Jupiter went into Aries last month. Mars is in Aries through July 5th. Power, okay? First sign of zodiac. I'm going to make it happen. It's about me. It's a me thing. But then the Sagittarius is like everybody. So it all works out. But Gemini, I like that. You may know who I'm speaking of. This isn't the first time. It's not my first rodeo. As a reader of over 30 years and whatnot, and reading people's compatibility aspects between them, Gemini and Capricorn, or Gemini and Virgo, or Earth sign in general. It works. Very different and yet very much of a complementary entity together. The element of air and the element of earth. So now I'm going to pick your tarot for the 4-week reading, and then I go to I'll pick an extra oracle, and then I'll finish with this rune oracle as like the cherry on the sundae. So what I'm doing this time is I'm just picking the deck at random, whatever feels like it's the right one for you, and I'm going with this. Don't know why. And then I'm going to go with this because I do know why. And this is the psychic tarot for the heart, forgive me. This is the oracle that I love a lot. I pick it out quite a bit, but I haven't for this month yet. I mentioned the rune. I've got my beautiful flashcards, and I have my beautiful little red bag of runes, amethyst runes that are gorgeous. And so for the first portion, we're going to read the 4 weeks. I am using this beautiful Gil Tarot. It was one of the first decks I got. I got it as I had several of them. They're still over there. They're from different countries and places, and my brother turned me on to those probably about 6 years ago now. Gosh, that went fast. But I love this one. It's beautiful, and it has really gorgeous illustrations, and I haven't pulled it out in a long time, so I feel like it's something you need to have. Beautiful Capricorns. So I hope you're doing well, and like I said, we're going to start with the first week of the month. It has already passed, but what I like about that is just being able to compare notes and see if you resonate right away. Now, do keep in mind, it's always a good idea to watch your sun, moon, rising or ascendant. It can be said either way. Or Venus placements, okay, to get that much more depth about what's going on, because sometimes those other placements will resonate more with you than your sun sign. I find that to be very true, especially I find that maybe it's because of my age, and as I'm progressively aging, my rising tends to be very, very accurate a lot of times. So I just thought I'd put that out there. Now, if you are liking what you're seeing, please like and subscribe, push the notification bell, because my times are very different with my other job. I put this in because I love it. And even if there's 2 of you watching out there, I'm going to do it because it's my passion, okay? And I hope to expand if you like and subscribe, and subscribing is like following. And there's no, fee involved or anything. It's just a definite kind thing to do to support the channel. YouTube will help me out, and they'll share, and they'll allow me to continue to do my content, okay? So that would be beautiful. And that's sort of in line with this full moon. And I do want to say a couple other things. So then we go into summer solstice next week. One of my favorite times of the year, and it's very powerful, and it does then become Cancer season. Cancer is a water sign. Cancer is very sensitive, very nurturing, very motherly. They love family and home. They want to cater to people. They want their familiar around with them, They are excellent homemakers. And it's not just women, of course, there's no gender associated, but it's just true. That's not to say they don't work outside the home and they have other interests, believe me, but most of the time that is something that fundamentally is extremely important to them, more so than a lot of the other signs. But of course, I too care about my family and everything. It is their claim to fame. So that's happening. We've got, we enter into Cancer season on the 20th, and then 21st is the summer solstice. And then we have a new moon in Cancer on the 28th. This is beautiful for you. Water and earth are extremely harmonious elements together. Whether it be Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, whether it be Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, you see these combinations a lot. These are the oppositions that work, you know, because you fulfill each other's needs, where the other one is lacking or not, you know. It's just inspirational to meet and to learn things from people that are different than yourself. And then there's the other side of the coin where a lot of people want to be with people that are very much like them, you know. They just have that compatibility. They get each other because they do things very similarly. So the first week, let's see what's happening going into June for you, Capricorn. I'll put these on. And the first week, we had Temperance. So, oh no, I'm sorry. Well, it says temperate. What does it say? Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not saying temperate. It's saying temporary. That's so unusual. Either way, what I'm trying to say to you is that would represent, this is perfect. It's the first week, but trust me when I tell you, we start to feel the feelings of new moons and full moons, like we're feeling the eclipse season we had last month with the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. Solar being in Taurus and lunar full moon, blood, huge supermoon in Scorpio. Those effects are going to last us for the rest of the year and onward. But what I'm seeing is this represents the Sagittarian, the temperate card. I think it might be just because it's in a different language. And you've got the fire, which represents the fiery aspect of, you know, the motivation and the spirit that is so passionately a part of fire signs. You got the rainbow for the optimism I spoke of, and the Jupiter and the benevolent aspects of how things can just seem to appear out of nowhere in our favor, and luck and opportunity, right place, right time. You know, we all have those rainbows, and of course, first it has to rain, and when that's done, we have some beautiful, beautiful, amazing, unlimited possibilities that happen afterwards, and there you have it. So you were kind of picking up on that, and perhaps because there's the actual picture, and it's number 14. 1 + 4 = 5, and that is about change, and that is about transformation and challenge, getting through those challenges. We all have them in life. Life is going to always have challenges. Some people, I think you would be one of those people, Capricorn, you kind of are inspired by challenge. That motivates you. It's like, bring it, because I will conquer it, and I will find the solution. So that's kind of what I'm gathering, and that may be how you came into the month because of Jupiter going into Aries. And that was that, you know, we're making it happen by hook or by crook. There's nothing stopping me. I'm like a child. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't have to know everything about it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to be impulsive, and I'm going to stick with my guns. And I've got Mars in my favor working with me, so the energy is definitely there, and I feel the strength, and I have to be careful because I could overdo it. That's where temperance comes in. Keeping that balance. Don't overdo it. Don't injure yourself in the process. Don't overwork. Allow yourself time, like I said, with this beautiful moon, to plan those vacations. Get your getaways. That will make your productivity so much better. And I know you know this. I'm preaching to the choir, no doubt. That's beautiful, though, having come into that. I hope that is exactly what you've been feeling and will continue to feel. Being very perceptive of the full moon energies. Second week, which is now, you have, oh yeah, of course, Prince of Action. So it's the Prince of Swords, and that is the mind, and that is the Gemini influence. It could be Aquarius or Libra. Those are the three. Now, with Jupiter in Aries, it automatically ignites the 7th house, which is the polar opposition position of Libra to Aries, and that is all about relationships. Venus ruled Libra. That has to do with love and money and higher learning as well, you know, education, institutions. It's really exciting because there's some information coming in, and that's what the princes, as well, the more like a page, or the knights represent for all of us, is something's coming in, and it's going to be important for you to know, and it's going to be about truth and justice and learning and somebody's going to tell you something you need to know right now. And that full moon will bring a light on most any topic, okay? It's a culmination. If you've been worried or concerned about something, if there's a court case, it's coming through and it's in your favor. It's going to be beautiful because it's going to be, once again, fair and just. And it could be at the beginning stages, and it could be about a child. It could be, you know, the youth is the prince. There could be talk about that. There could be wanting to, you know, communicate more with a child or discuss having children in your family. Adding, or maybe the first child. I mean, all the excitement and beautiful aspects of that. That would mean a temperance of sorts. You'd have to balance your work life and your family life, of course. That would be an amazing transformation that would last the remainder of your life, which is all about this time and the transformations that are going on constantly. I mean, they do in a lifetime, but this is a very powerful time in everybody's, you know, on this planet, where transformation is so much more evident and welcome, to change the things that have not worked up to this point in our lives. And it doesn't always feel comfortable at first. It's a stretching of sort. It's like when you have a child, the birthing is not so fun, but once you birth that idea or you birth that child, it's the miracle. It's so gratifying, and it feels, it's actually hard to describe how it feels. It's that, you know, miraculous. So those are the 2 weeks, and that's the energy coming in from, you know, the aforementioned planetary aspects that affect all of us. And I would say more positive than not compared to other things, minus the retrograde, you know, which is always a little off-putting, but it can be worked through, and it's almost done. And there's a clear path through the August 21st, I believe, before the next shadowy retrograde. So use it, utilize it to the best of your ability. I will mention that Saturn went retrograde a couple weekends ago, and it's in the sign of Aquarius. Saturn is your ruling planet. Aquarius is about communication again. It's about the mind. It's about, you know, breaking free and having that ability to see beyond the norm or the status quo, to invent, which is something you're very, very capable of as a cardinal sign, and to push through, even as a Capricorn, you know, something you may want to just keep, if it's not fixed, if it's not broke, don't fix kind of attitude. I'm not feeling that from you. I think the influences that will continue on for many years now in the air signs is really getting you thinking about better ways to create, to come up with some really inventive and original ideas that you can take and claim and, dare I say, have fame over. You know, I mean, nowadays people are famous like crazy online. Everything, they're, what are they, influencers and everything? They're just like, who would have thought back in the day that you'd make money doing a lot of the things happening? And I think it's phenomenal. And that's what this is leading to as well. I'm just saying that's absolutely what's coming through right now. Let me know if you have any ideas, or you're feeling this way, or something's in the mix about that. So the third week is going to be, as I said, it'll be the summer solstice next week, and you've got delay. So what is this? This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, it looks like the 7 of Pentacles. That's you. That's the earth energy. That is the coins, or the, you know, pentacles. Now, when it comes, I've never seen this as delay, and of course the 7 is right there in front of me, but it's hard to see because it's green. You know, the other depiction would be with the, I love this deck. It's pretty cool. I have to use it more often. With the Rider-Waite-Smith, there is a tree, if you will, of you know, coins that has been growing, you know, from the earth, because it represents that earth energy. You have to plant seeds for it to grow. You have to nourish them. You have to be practical. You have to be, you know, pay attention. You have to work towards it and toil it and weed them and so forth. And that just comes naturally for you. You fully understand that, and you're great about it. But at the 7th pentacle. It's not the 10. And the 6 is when there's a reciprocation of you're giving and you're receiving and it feels fair and not just. Now this is where you're feeling like, I really need to think. Once again, there's the thinking aspect, and it's very prominent right now in what your truth is and what you believe and what you want for yourself. I have to think, if I'm really happy with what's going on, is it the best way to go about what I'm doing to create the wealth I want, the sustenance, the stability, that grounded energy? You're giving it some real thought. This is a thinking pentacle, because you absolutely want to pursue to the 10 of Pentacles, okay? You might just be in a little bit of a quandary, and that delay may just be this remaining part of the retrograde, and once that's done, bam, you've got the ideas, you've written them down. The new moon is going to be extremely powerful for new beginnings, and it's going to be actually perfect in regards to this delay, I would say. So just be calm and patient. Make that, maybe that's the week to go and get away a little bit, so you don't have to really focus on that. And a lot of times, do I need my water? No, I'm good. A lot of times when we just kind of let go of things, right? That's when the ideas come in. That's when we open up. And we remove any blocks of, overthinking and worry, especially. That's a way to definitely diminish our powerful energy of allowing. So delay, keep that in mind, just don't think too much, but definitely do what you feel is right for you. It's always going to be individual. We are different in how we approach things and how we feel and react to situations. But 7 is no slouch. It's not bad. I mean, I think you're doing well. You just would like to do better, is what I'm gathering. And so with the information that may be coming through for you, and I think clearly is, the new moon, and then this beautiful temperance of powerful, positive alchemy of changing water to wine. You can change your life in any way you choose. You just have to believe it and fully have that faith, which is the Sagittarius moon right there. Faith and trust. Final week, new moon. Wealth. Woo! There you go. Ace of, my gosh, I'm not sure. It's wealth. It's ace. I just can't tell you exactly what ace it is. It's got the crown. I think it's the Ace of Pentacles, because to me, the Ace of Pentacles represents wealth. It just always has. It's money. It's, how we invest, how we accrue that. And it's the beginning, and it's a new cycle, and it makes perfect sense for the new moon in Cancer. Here's the actual picture. Different deck for sure, but I get the gist of it, and I don't even need to know. I know an ace is the start. It's the beginning. It's powerful. It allows us to imagine and to create and to manifest, and it's a gift basically from the universe being handed to you. So what you choose to do with it is strictly up to you, but I feel like you're pretty smart and savvy and pretty resourceful, Capricorns. Pretty is not even enough credit for you. You're very resourceful and very capable. And so once you've given the thought, you add this one ace to the 7, becomes an 8, and 8 is all abundance. It is the most powerful number in the numerology. So that is a beautiful message and indication of the powerful things coming through with this moon. And I do think it's very much of an impetus as to the making that happen. And most of the readings have been phenomenal. So congratulations on that. Those are the 4 weeks, and you've got 2 pentacles, which represent you. You've got the sword, and you've got the major arcana of the full moon today. So I think it pretty much speaks for itself. Very synchronistic to what's really happening in real time. Let me pick your, as I mentioned, your beautiful oracle divination message, because this is a great deck for a lot of reasons, but I love it because it has the major arcana. It has all the different elements cards, and then it has the chakras. And there's no other deck I've seen that's like that. So depending on the outer rim color, it lets me know where we're at as far as that goes, and then I'll read to you what it says. So in addition to this beautiful information, and like I said, don't feel like it has to happen verbatim the time. That's never how spiritual or spirituality works. It's just influences and possibilities because of the energies, but it can last. Sometimes people feel that a month before or a month after. It doesn't. It's just information you can use and, keep in your back pocket, if you will, to refer to and to remind yourself and to, to motivate you. Hopefully, that's really my intention. And feel uplifted and loved and all the things that we all want to feel. We all are actually being given those energies. We just have to want to take them in, right? And feel it and be still and allow it. So for the month of June, you have control. And it's an 8. There we go again with an 8. So that's 2 in a row, and that says something, double 8s. But control, does that sound familiar before I even read this? Because I know for myself, I've always had an issue with control. A lot of it has to do with being responsible for myself, running my own business and all that. Of course you would think, and I know most of the time when that's the case, you don't necessarily know any other way. It's you have only you to answer to, right? So there is that control, but when you let go, even when you are in those situations, and I think a lot of you are watching, and you say, okay, yes, I know I have to be responsible, I have to pay the bills, this. I still like to let go and say, okay, you help me out or take it over. I'm good with that. I'll listen. I'll be still. Life goes on. I want to relax. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to be in that mode anymore. And it's not often that I say that, but I definitely do. It is a major arcana with the black outline. So this is powerful. The major arcanas are when really the message is important that you get it. And it is, like I said, a second aspect of an 8 number behind the wealth. So let's see what it says. What does it say about, I just closed this. I told you my energy is a little funky, but we're going to make it through. I want to get this uploaded. And so 8 under the major arcana. Come on now. I almost had it. There's 9. All right, it says, keywords: master, influence, accept, compassion, patience, and confidence. There you are in a nutshell. In order to flourish, relationships must be fluid and free rather than overly rigid and controlled by emotional neediness or insecurity. I think as we get older, and even some of us that are older, we certainly realize it, and then it's really up to us to utilize those beautiful gifts of or tips of information, It's important to master your emotions so that they do not rule the relationship. A partnership based solely on emotion is out of balance. And that's that temperance again. That's how you started coming in here. So this is something that there's a message being sent to you specifically in regards to that. And I don't know if it has to do with relationships or something about balance, but to really remind yourself about that for absolutely holistically wonderful, beautiful experience in this, soul experience that we all exist. A partnership based, I already said that. Okay. Act from a combination of emotion and intellect, and your relationship will thrive and grow. Yeah, so that's using the mind and the heart, which I've mentioned many times. With those two in unison and balance, you got it. That's really all you need, is the thoughts and the heart together as one, uniting, agreeing. That's the ticket. Be sure that your influence is gentle and loving. This is not a time for domination. Don't go there. I'm just saying. Love is not about that. It really isn't. We have to learn that, and we may have been taught that as a child, or we were given the wrong programming for whatever reason, but we have every opportunity, and we're all gifted in the way that we can break free of those beliefs and, you know, programmings that happen. And they just simply do, you know. Why wouldn't they? That's what we knew when we were in our most formative years. They molded us, if you will. But we can definitely break through and change our thoughts at any time, and listen to maybe younger people that really have it together, and realize that they may be younger, but they're sometimes wise beyond their years, you know, and they're living in a different kind of intellect than I think you and I certainly were, if there's an audience that's watching even close to my age. So I think it's a beautiful, beautiful message. And yeah, that's what love's about. That's that compromise and that give and take. And it's not about needing to control or be in charge and all that all the time. It's just not. So I'm going to finish with your rune. So I'm going to pick it out, and then I'll find the pattern for you, and I'll talk to you about that. Today's rune for you, beautiful Capricorns, for the month of June is, it looks like a little hat. I want to say it's an A, but it could be a P. I'm not remembering. I'm wanting to. A or P. I want to say for the... Let's see what we got here. Here it is, right here. It's not either one. It's this one, though. Yeah, looks like a hat. Wait, let me double check, though. There could be one that's very similar. Sometimes that happens with this. There aren't that many. Let me zip through here, if I may, really quickly. I think that is it, though. It looks the closest so far. No, this is it. I was wrong. It's a T. Total memorization for this. I mean, there's no real, to me, as far as our alphabet versus the Greek alphabet that this is evolved from, is, you know, it doesn't look like a T. So that, to me, looks like a P. So I guess I need to remember that when I see something that looks like a P, it's a T. Okay, so the wording is Therisis. Whew, and it's the letter TH. So it's actually 2. It's rune number 3, though, and I love 3, because 3 is about expansion and growth, and it's about unity and working with others, okay? Now, maybe there's that control thing, maybe you're not used to it and you think you're best not working with others, but I think we all know that that's not necessarily true. And if you can find the great people that are out there in this world that can really put forth the energy and the same level of, you know, enthusiasm and talent as you got to go with it, because it's so much nicer, you know, and it eases your life in a lot of ways, and you can find that balance more. It doesn't have to always be on you. So that's kind of interesting, and it kind of really reminds me of that control thing as well. The theme is Thor's hammer, or thorn. Keywords: protection, regeneration, justice, defense, guardian, and righteous. Okay. It kind of sounds like the full moon energies, a lot of it. Defense, yeah, if you're over impulsive and you got that fiery, you know, kind of warrior type thing going, you gotta pull it back a bit, because it can get out of hand. Magical working, purposeful destruction. Interesting. I mean, that exists. Defense, protection, getting justice, love, and that kind of could go with this too. I mentioned the institution aspects of these swords, you know, from medicine to the courts. Higher learning kind of association always comes with the swords that way. Institutions, okay, or I said justice. And that's the Libra too. They are the justice tarot sign. Love, relationships. There's that Venus I said, very powerful and will be for a long time for all of us. A force for good, righteous anger, fighting back. Being careful though, right? Protecting what you cherish, a good defense. So I hope that makes sense, because parts of it make sense to me. And there's something I'm feeling here that definitely has to do with standing your ground, which is exactly what the truth aspect of this full moon, and even the Scorpio energies that are still happening from that full moon about digging deep, you know, Pluto ruled, powerful, the most powerful planet of transformation and change and truth and critiquing, self-critiquing, and yeah, standing up for yourself, standing up for what you believe, okay? You're good at this, Capricorn. This is nothing for you. And I just hope it's a beautiful, eventful, love-filled, fun-filled month of June, okay? Because I hear July is going to be really awesome as well. And there's a lot of that free, you know, forward space kind of energy where we don't have to feel delays and backtracking and all that beautiful stuff. So thank you for your time. I really appreciate you. I really, really do. Take care. I will be here for the July readings. I hope you will as well. And until then, bye for now.